For the life of me, I can't figure out how to start this vlog. I have so much to say and yet nothing to say at all. I have heard from some of you that weeks in my life vlogs are enjoyable and you want to watch them. So I thought it'd be fun to do an art-forward week in my life, doing something of a challenge to get myself out of a creative rut. And I decided to do something a little bit out of character for me, and I asked ChatGPT for their suggestions on how I should get out of a creative rut. Frustratingly, I often find myself in a creative rut right around the start of the new year, usually because I've been very focused on the customer service and fulfillment side of my business, or just taking time off for the holidays. But this also happens when I've been very, very deep in a big project that's been kind of monopolizing my time and my energy. And when I'm finished with it, I will find it difficult to start something new. Kind of like when you read a really good book and then you don't want to read something else because you're still kind of living in the world of that book, or because your brain can't take the font change and it's just too jarring. I don't know if that happens to anyone else, but it's definitely something I've had trouble with before. Before I go over what ChatGPT suggested though, I do want to share my usual method for getting out of a creative rut. And this is just kind of a two-step method that I always turn to in times of a creative slump. First of all, I always try to plan for a creative slump ahead of time. When my inspiration is high and creativity is abounding, I just make a running list of ideas in my phone. Recently, things I've put in my phone for ideas include animals doing things, striped peppermint paper, low country boil, new cookies, make a calendar, nostalgic Christmas, mini filler pages. These are all things that I am planning to make in the future, and I wrote these down because I know myself, I will forget about things that I have ideas for. And then the other thing I like to use is Pinterest. Pinterest is algorithmic, so if you're not on Pinterest yet, I would suggest you get on there right away and just start making a ton of boards and searching things and start saving things to train your home feed. I have managed to curate a perfect home feed. It is spot on. Every time I get on there, there are beautiful things I'm attracted to and that are a very good example of my style and my taste. And so again, when the time comes that I am feeling uninspired and lacking in creativity, I just go to Pinterest and look at what I've saved, and maybe there's some ideas there. Maybe it's a color palette that I see in a certain photo, or maybe it's just a broad concept like seashells. I saved this photo of seashells because it made me view them in a different light, where I was like, oh, those could be done super cute in a very fresh way, and not so much in a 1950s seashell bathroom at my grandma's house kind of way, which is how I always sort of viewed seashells before. I think it's important to recognize that creative slumps are going to happen. Nobody is an endless font of inspiration of their own accord. We gather ideas from the world around us, from other people, from books. There are many other sources of inspiration, and creativity usually doesn't exist in a vacuum. Also, there's nothing new under the sun, so don't beat yourself up if you are having trouble coming up with original ideas. Just as a side note, I think the best definition of an original idea these days is two things put together in a way that hasn't really been done before. So it's not that it's a brand new idea, but it's a brand new combination of ideas. Now, I'm not a huge fan of AI. I am firmly, staunchly against AI creating art. I've had people try to convince me that it's really great, and I disagree. AI is taking jobs from artists. I saw this post on Instagram about an AI shower curtain with three-legged skiers, and I left a comment saying it would be much better for everyone all around if the creator of the shower curtain, which I know it's just Temu and they're not going to do this, but on principle, it would be better for everyone if businesses were willing to find just a beginner artist who could create something like that and pay them a couple $100s to license their art and support an artist getting started in the industry. There are so many artists out there who could be being paid for their time and for their creativity, and instead we get these monstrosities. And I could say a lot more, but I will leave it at this. I think the proper place for AI in art is for it to be a tool to help human artists make art, not to replace them. And what I'm doing today is in line with that principle. I have gone to ChatGPT and I asked, I'm an artist in a creative rut. What tips do you have for getting inspired again? The way I'm going to use this is I'm going to take the best prompts and put them into a random generator and pick one each day using that to work on some new project. But right now I'm going to read through all of it. The first one they suggested was a memory sketch. Draw or paint a vivid memory focused on the emotions and colors rather than realistic details. A dreamscape. Create a piece inspired by a recent or recurring dream. Let surreal elements guide you. That sounds very AI-ish. Mood studies. Pick an emotion, for example, joy, nostalgia, or anxiety, and represent it through abstract shapes, colors, and textures. Those were all visual exploration prompts. The next, they suggested new perspectives. Miniature masterpieces. Create a series of small, quick works, for example, 3 by 3 inches on a single theme. I like that one a lot. 5, upside down challenge. Sketch the subject while keeping your reference image upside down. Unusual tools. Use unconventional items like sponges, leaves, kitchen utensils to create textures and patterns. The next section was thematic inspiration. So 7, nature's contrast. Blend 2 opposing natural elements like fire and water or desert and ocean into a cohesive composition. Storytelling through art. Illustrate a short story or poem focused on capturing the narrative visually. Number 9, hybrid world. Imagine a combination of 2 wildly different concepts like a mechanical forest or a city made of glass. This one is probably not one that I will choose. Process-oriented exercises was the next category, starting with layer play. Start with random marks or colors on your canvas, then build layers to create something meaningful. A limited palette. Restrict yourself to 3 colors and explore how to mix and layer them creatively. Reverse process. Start with a finished piece in mind, then work backward, deconstructing the process. Creative prompts is the next section. Random word generator. Random word generator. I can't say that. Random word generator. Use an online tool to pick 3 random words and create a piece inspired by them. Time capsule. Imagine what the world will look like 100 years from now and create artwork based on that vision. A tribute to your muse. If you have a favorite artist, movement, or influence, create a work in homage while making it distinctly yours. And then the last little section was personal exploration. Self-portrait through symbols. Depict yourself through objects, colors, and symbols that represent your personality or current state. And the last one they suggested was an art diary. Make a daily or weekly habit of creating a quick piece that reflects your mood or thoughts. I'm going to go through these and pick out 5 or maybe more for a little more variety of the best, in my opinion, and put them into a random generator. And then I'm going to choose one, create something. Okay, I've picked 7 of them. I'm going to add to my random generator list memory sketch, miniature masterpieces, layer play, limited palette, random word generator, a tribute to your muse, and self-portrait through symbols. Now it's time to put them in a random generator. Alright, I'm going to go by numbers. So random number generator 1 through 7. Generate. And we have number 2. So we are doing miniature masterpieces. I actually like painting on a small scale, but I have never specifically done a series of artworks that are like on purpose, very small. So I'm actually really excited about this one. Decided on a theme. I mentioned seashells earlier, and this is something I've saved for a while and haven't done anything yet with, so that's what I'm gonna do. I have this inspiration photo. Hopefully you can see that. And then also this one. Just the colors and the variety in these is really inspiring to me. And I think that would be the perfect subject matter for a little painting. do a bright red background on this one. Just, I feel like that would be really punchy. And I think I'm about at the point where I can start adding that. This one's a little wet still, I smudged it. I'm gonna try adding different colors for shadows. I've been trying to be a lot less afraid of using different colors recently. Just kind of going all out. Okay, this one has gotten kind of out of hand, and I'm not sure if I should keep trying to make it work or if I want to give up. I think I'm going to give up on this one and start a new one. Okay, I still don't like it, so I think I'm actually going to ditch that for good. This one I think might be done, and this one too, I think this one's done as well. Might add a little bit more shadows to the edges, but this one I'm still working on. I put some masking fluid on the dots, and I think I'm going to make some stripes for the background instead of making it solid like the other ones. So I want to head home soon, but here's the one I just made. This is not my favorite color scheme, like 2 out of 5, honestly. This one's more fun. I do like this one. I love the red, and I think that the shadows and the red really make the white parted seashell pop. 4.5 out of 5, 4 out of 5. And then this one, I like this one the most just because I like the colors, but it's still not a 5 out of 5. It's another 4 out of 5. Cute. I'm gonna put both of these up on my which means it's time to pick another number with our random generator and do another challenge. All right, generating from 1 to 7. If I get 2, I'll just do it again until I get a different number. All right, ready? It's 6. Okay, I don't remember what 6 was, so let's go look that up. Tribute to your muse. If you have a favorite artist, movement, or influence, create a work in homage while making it distinctly yours. And I think what I'm actually going to do for this one, and after some consideration and looking through a lot of my different saved pins on Pinterest, the one muse I keep coming back to is Monet. I just love Monet's paintings. I know it's cliche. There are other impressionists I also love, especially like Bert Morisot. But in particular, I've wanted to do cloud studies for a while. So I think I'm going to take this opportunity and try to do an impressionist cloud study. Also, please excuse the white noise. It's rather cold today, and I don't really feel like being cold, so white noise it is. Actually, I'm going to turn on another one. I'm not loving this. I think I'm gonna try again. Okay, this is where I'm at. I also do not love this one, but it's a little bit better than the last one. I think I'm gonna switch to cold press paper, which I haven't used in a while. It has more texture, it's a little rougher. Alrighty, it's been like maybe an hour-ish since I started these, and I've done the 3. This is where I'm at. So this is the first one, which, I mean, actually might be my favorite of all of them. This is the second one. It's okay. It's not what I envisioned. And then this third one, I don't know, I just kind of have a love-hate relationship with cold press paper. And also, this looks kind of like a mountain because of the perspective. This is definitely a concept I want to do more paintings of. So this was a nice like experimental starting place. But yeah, I definitely need to work on it more before I achieve what I wanted to achieve. So yeah. Also, I don't think any of these are very Monet inspired. It's just kind of me painting. So kind of failed the challenge, I guess. But I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll do another one. Back once again. Hello from me and my fan. It's very, very cold today, and not very warm in here. It's Wednesday, which means it's day 3 of this challenge, and you know the drill. All right, I have 1 to 7. Let's get this focused. And it's 6, which I think we did 6 yesterday. So let's generate a new one. All right, today is 5, which is random word generator. Use an online tool to pick 3 random words and create a piece inspired by them. My hands are so cold. Okay. Number of words, 3. Generate random words. Interesting. Guitar, guarantee, and flash. Guarantee. How do you paint that? I'm gonna do another one. I don't like these. This is even worse. Halt, flew, and mine. Okay, here's a good one. Performer, occupation, and cafe. So I guess we'll do something with this. I am going to take inspiration from a real life experience, and I'm going to paint like a multi-focused little scene of a cafe where you can see into the restaurant. There's like a chef in his hat, because we were at a restaurant in Paris where we could like kind of see the chef in his like all white outfit like moving around in the kitchen. That was really fun. So I guess I'll just like add like a street performer on the side or something. That's better. Okay, here's where I'm at. I went with kind of an autumnal palette, and I mean, it's just super messy. I'm just kind of like splashing the paint on wherever I think it should go. It didn't really get to the people, but I did include a little chef in the kitchen, an accordion player, and then the cafe, like the prompt said. So that was a pretty good prompt. The other ones were just like extremely abstract. I wasn't really sure like how to create something that's true to my style while still like being true to the prompt. There's 2 days left in my challenge. I guess we'll see what other ones we get to do. We still have the memory sketch, layer play, limited palette, and self-portrait through symbols. So there's 4 left, and there's only 2 days, and so I'm curious to see which ones I'll get to do. See you tomorrow. It's actually Friday now. I didn't come to work yesterday because the mail was not running, so I didn't need to be here for pickups and deliveries. So I stayed at home and did a bunch of computer work. I got all caught up on things. So I also didn't work anymore on this challenge, so I'm resuming it today, Friday, and maybe I'll continue it into next week so we can finish out at least 5 days. To review, we've done numbers 2, 3, and 6. So I need to pick a number that isn't any of those from the random number generator. We got number 1. We've got number 1. This is memory sketch. I think this is the one that I've wanted to do the most. Draw or paint a vivid memory, focusing on the emotions and colors rather than realistic details. Sure, I drew this on the wrong side of the paper because there's something sketched on the back, but also I painted this entire painting on the back. Like you can see, this was all one sketch somehow, like that. There we go. It was all like that, and I'm so impressed now that I drew this because the paint situation on this side of the paper is not it. It's very uncooperative. These were the first pastries we ate when we got to Paris, me and Becca. We had a cannelé, the lemon meringue tart, and then the duchesse with the strawberries. Pretty sure I had that purse. I'm actually gonna pull up the photo and see if this is accurate to everything that went on in that moment, because I'm not sure how on point my recollection of like the colors and the situation, everything is. And I mean, I think I'm like pretty close. So here's the photo. You can see we had pastries on a plate with my purse. Becca is wearing denim, not pink. But there we have the original memory and my interpretation. The tray was white. I thought maybe the tray was red with the brown paper, but I did get the countertop right. This is a fun little exercise. I'm gonna come back, I think, and do one more on Monday, just so I do 5 like I originally intended. I am about to do the 5th and final draw of this creativity challenge. Let's pull up the random generator and put in 1 through 7. We have 3, 4, and 7 still to choose from. And we've got 3. 3 is layer play. Start with random marks or colors on your canvas, then build layers to create something more meaningful. So I guess let's get started. All the impressionists need to really look out because I am coming for them. I think I just messed that up further. Oops. I almost didn't finish this because I'm kind of embarrassed by it. Like, I have not done much of this sort of thing. I've usually come into projects with something very, very specific in mind. And I also know for a fact that oil and water only mix in a certain order. You're supposed to do water-based first. So I completely broke the rules by doing this in this order. And as a result, the paper is kind of coming apart. I'd like to flatter myself by saying it's sort of Chagall-esque. I put the colors down and I was like, where is this going? And then I was like, maybe it kind of reminds me of like the aurora. And then I was like, I can draw flowers on top. I don't know. I don't think this has inspired me to do anything in particular. I think I'm going to try to make something else really quick too. I'll try to expand off of what I've learned here. Okay, I like this tulip a lot actually. I think it's very punchy and bright. I kind of messed this up by making the stem too thick. Something that I do get hung up on is composition. So by just dashing some paint onto the paper to start, I couldn't really fuss about where to put stuff, where to get started, what corner to begin in, to begin with the flower or the stem. So yeah, that was cool. I like this a lot better than the last one. Okay, do you guys remember the like solo cups that had like the abstract purple and blue and orange squiggles on them? Maybe I can find a picture. That's what this reminds me of.
I'm home. It's a little bit later. I'm recording on this microphone because I'm trying out a bunch of different microphone situations at the moment. I filmed an outro at the shop earlier, but it was very cold there, and I really just wanted to come home, so it was kind of disjointed. Now that I've had some time to reflect on the art I made and the project as a whole, I have more actual thoughts and not just concepts of thoughts. But before I share them, I think I need to add a little context. I think this challenge didn't work as well for me as it might for someone else because I am a commercial artist, and I'm not just creating for the art for the sake of creating. I'm not necessarily trying to be an innovator. It's my job. It's how I make a living. And so whenever I go to create something, first and foremost in my mind is this something people are going to want to buy? And whether or not I like that or whether or not I think that's like a noble thing, it's just my reality. If I wasn't an artist for work, I would probably be doing a lot more craftsy things, projects. I would probably be just doing things for myself, making art for my home, or like making birthday cards for people, which is how I used to make art like as a teenager before I did it for work. So this might have worked better for me then. I personally think after trying this method that my go-to method for creating art and getting out of a rut is better than ChatGPT's. Because like this week I didn't create anything that I felt was in line with my idea of success as an artist, as a commercial artist. A successful piece is something that I am proud to put in my shop as a representation of my best work and that I think people would want to buy. And almost nothing I made this week fulfills that expectation. So to me, this was a failure. And that may not be someone else's requirement to consider their art good. So it might work better for someone else. But I think my method works better. And so I think I might do a part 2 of this vlog, make it like a series, getting out of rut series, and try different things. And I think maybe in the next video I will use my own method, but I'll gamify it a little bit by maybe writing down all the prompts that I've saved and putting them in like a jar and drawing them at random and then creating something out of them. And maybe I'll even make it like the whole process, like create something to sell out of this idea. Also, I feel like I need to give a little bit of credit for this, where I got the idea for this vlog. It's from Harriet, who is on YouTube as Scriptspo. She's a booktuber and she does a lot of these different fun, conceptual vlogs that relate to booktubing. So she's done ChatGPT prompts before for her TBR book picks, and that's where I got the idea for this vlog. So I just wanted to mention that as well. Keep an eye out for that, the next vlog in the series.